All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're back up here at JC Lewis Ford. What we're going to talk about today, same kind of video I made last year where I told you to avoid the 2025s. This one here, we're calling it skip to 26. We're going to talk about it, okay, and for what reasons. But there is a kicker this year that wasn't available last year that that changes that. It kind of throws a little wrench in the game plan. We'll talk about that. But why do I say that? Why did I make that one last year? Avoid the 2025s. I've even had already like 5 comments when I bought my Ram Power Wagon. It's sitting right there because it's a 2025. I've had them say, didn't you just say not to buy a 2025? Here you are buying a 2025. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, definitely. And I made that video at the end of 2024 about not buying a 2025, just like we're making this one right now, about skip to 26, buy a 2025. Why? Well, the main reason is prices of the 26s go up and technical cost reduction. Understand that word, that 3 words, that phrase, technical cost reduction. Every brand does it. Ford is notoriously, lately been, like the last 5 years, been the king of technical cost reductions. But technical cost reductions are where they will cut out quality things and cinch out and go cheaper on certain things that you sometimes can't see, sometimes you can see, like when the F-250 Lariat now no longer has leather seats, it's got vinyl seats, cutting out that, where they cut out your side keypad that Ford has been notorious for the last 20 years. It's no longer there anymore when they cut that out. Okay, they do all these things. They took the Super 60 front axle out of the Super Duties and put a Super 50, I think it is. They got rid of the Torsen out of the Raptor. They do these things all the time. They took the Torsen that was in the Tremor and put it behind a $12,000 paywall on this 304A or whatever that weird package is that you now have to get. That means you got to spend 80 grand to get the Torsen front end on it. Okay, these are technical cost reductions and manipulations, package manipulations. Chevy is changing things up at Chevy. They are going with new, they've cut their packages back. So things that were optional in 2025, whether you wanted them or not, are now standard in 2026. That's not a good thing. Okay, that means you now don't have a choice, where in 2025, you could buy that vehicle without spending the money on those options you don't want. In 2026, you do not get that luxury. They are forcing you to take them. It is upsetting, and it is part of the game, and there's no way around it. We don't have a choice. And it's one of those things that you got to think about. So when I say skip to 26, I mean it. Now, what about inventory stuff here too? Actually, that's not, we got nothing there. I was going the wrong way here, but look at inventory. Every Ford that you see here is 25 or 2024. And yes, there are still some 2024 somewhere on this lot. There was, I've seen them online. I don't know where. Oh, wow, we got addendum stickers on here now too, right? Oh, no, yeah, well, we do, but that is at this dealer. But this is $7,500 for tires, bed liner, speedo recalibration, tint and a leveling kit, and rear wheel liners, $7,500. Taking that total price that takes this truck up to $90,000 for this Tremor, $90,000. But there are trucks that were on here. Now, they're starting to thin out pretty good. They're moving some. But there are 24s and 25s on this lot. Why would you want to go buy an F-150 as a 2026 Mustangs and their exhausts? Why would you want to go buy a 2026 when you have this many 2025s that are not only going to be better deals price-wise and be able to get a better deal on, saving you a tremendous amount of money, but on top of that, the 2025s are probably, whether you see it physically or do not, better quality because of technical cost reductions. Okay, these are the things that matter, and it happens every single year. MSRPs go up, so even if you had a 26 and a 25 sitting right beside each other, okay, and you were going to pay MSRP for both of them, the 2025 will most likely have better quality than what the 2026 does, better quality of parts, and it's going to be less, a couple grand, $2-3 grand less than the 2026 just from price increases. Then you take into account that the 2025 has got rebates and they want to move it fast because it's been sitting on a lot for 200 days. They want to move it better, so now you're going to get another $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 discount over what you get on the 2026. See what I'm getting at? So that's where it's all about, is skip the 26 right now. You're better off buying a 2025 that technically right now is almost considered leftover since production for 2026s has already started. It's January or July 8th or 9th or something like that, and production was supposed to already be started for most of these trucks. They're already in it. 2026s are what's being made now. So these are still considered technically leftover as soon as the trucks start arriving here. So these are where the deals are. This is where it's at, 2025s. What is the exception to that? What is the exception? If there is something specifically on a truck that you want in 2026 and you see that it's coming out, obviously that's a good win. You know, do it for sure. If you want an F-150 and you want it with an option that's not available in 2025 and it's important to you, that option's available in 2026, that makes perfect sense. What's the one oddball to this whole equation? The one that's, you know, last year there was no oddball. Because realistically, as far as I know, Ford is not making any major changes for 2026. Toyota is not making any major changes for 2026. Chevy is not making any major changes for 2026. Okay, it's going to be next year that the Toyota Tundra gets a refresh. It is next year that the 2027, the Chevys start getting, the new Chevys are available. I believe they're 2027, could be 2028. Frontier just got refreshed. So there's really not much happening in the truck world for 2026. It's any different from 2025's. Maybe some little things, most definitely some technical cost reductions and package mergers that make it cost more money for you is definitely there. But what about Ram? Ram is the kicker of this deal. There's a Ram sitting right there. Look at that beauty. Look at that right there. Very nice. Okay, but Ram is the oddball of this equation in the fact that Ram is not sitting idle. Okay, 2026 is a huge year for Ram. If you want a Ram 1500 with a Hemi, you can get it in 2026, so it makes sense to wait for that. If you want a Ram 2500 in a Warlock trim, okay, that's a Power Wagon, but you want it in a Warlock trim, it's going to be available with 20-inch wheels, beautiful setup, gorgeous truck, and available in 2026 in a Warlock edition of a 2500. If you want a Ram 1500 Warlock edition, but the 2025s, they don't come with heated steering wheels, heated seats. 2026 is going to have heated seats, most likely heated steering wheel as well too, and you get some of those extra features in there. So there's a lot of benefits to what Ram is doing for 2026. Just like when the F-150 gets a refresh, or a Tundra gets a refresh, or Nissan last year had their refresh, it was important to people. 2026 is Ram's year across the whole board to do a whole bunch of cool stuff with a bunch of neat things coming out. Are they worth it? Maybe to some. Like that 1500. If it's worth it for you to have the 5.7 Hemi, it's worth waiting. Me? Hell no. I will take that Hurricane motor that's in it in a heartbeat, and especially for 20% off on a 2025, I will take that 1500 Ram Warlock with the Hurricane in a heartbeat before I'm going to sit around and wait for and pay, 20% more minimum, actually probably more than that, for a 2026 just to get the Hemi. Your mileage may vary. You do what works for you. My point is, chasing the newest one at 2026, realistically, you do whatever you want to, but my opinion is avoid it. There's so much inventory for all brands of 2025 still available. That's where your money should be going. That's where your savings is going to be at. How do you do it? What if you want an F-150 STX? Okay, you want an F-150 STX, right here's what you're looking for. Okay, well, when do you buy it? Watch the inventory of the 2025s. How many do we got? Well, we got STX there. We got an STX there. We have an STX here. We got an STX right there. We got another STX there. We got STX there. We probably got an STX right there. Okay, I mean, there's probably literally, I don't know, we could go look on Auto Trader or on anything you want, but I'm guessing there's probably thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Ford F-150s and an STX available right now as 2025s across the country. Knowing that, the longer you wait to buy the 2025, even into 2026, the better deals you will get on it. So buying one right now is not a bad idea if you need a new truck. You need a new one, you want an STX, buy one. But if you think it's smart to order a 2026 is basically identical that you're going to pay a heck of a lot more money for versus waiting 5 or 6 months from now when there's these things have been considered old and out of the game, but there's still 2,000 of them available in the country and they want to move real fast and they've been sitting on lots for 300 days, 250 days. That's where you're finally going to start to see the $15,000, $17,000 off MSRP and be able to buy them for a smoking deal over what you would pay for a new 2026 one. I don't know many people that would turn down a 25 for 15 grand less than what a 26 is with nothing different and most likely made with cheaper parts on the 2026. That's the point of this video. Hopefully you benefit from it. Hopefully you enjoy it. For the people that say, well, I thought you said avoid the 2025s. I did. For the same reason I'm telling you now to buy a 2025 and avoid the 26. Skip the 26. It is for this. It is for your own good. Hopefully you see that, or at least see that the math works right for you. Questions, comments, put them below. Thanks for watching.